Hello and welcome to Westman This Week for April 25th. I'm Kira Stevens, and here's what's making headlines. Look up. Look way up. The meteors are coming to a sky near you. The leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics has passed away, and a team of election experts gear up for the race. They are going to tell you who's going to win on Election Day. We'll have those stories and more in this edition of Westman This Week. It's that time of year for students to switch from coursework to summer work, but over 10% of returning students end up unable to find work. As our Stephen Whitehead tells us, the summer job search is not entirely on a level playing field.
As the schooling season wraps up, students begin the hunt for summer jobs, but the options narrow down quickly. And it's that time of year in Brandon. The school is closing for the summer, and the students are picking off these summer jobs before school even gets out. But the playing field is not built evenly. Many of the students here at Assiniboine College are international students and have a more difficult time getting a summer job than the rest of us. So, support your fellow students and help everyone who needs it get their summer job in our community. Stephen Whitehead, Westman This Week, Brandon.
The warmer weather has many people thinking about enjoying the outdoors, but that's not so easy for people with a disability. Many cities and towns in Westman have streets and sidewalks in poor condition. Our reporter Ashton Kalita tells us about one person's struggle in Dauphin.
It's coming to an end. Many people can be seen around town going for walks and just enjoying the nice weather without the snow and ice. That can also be said for local resident Sandra Kalita. For her, winter months are a tough time and it is hard to get around town outside in a wheelchair, which is why she always looks forward to spring when all the snow melts away and it makes it much easier for her to get around town, whether it's going to the store or walking her dog Skeeter. However, she is lucky to have an accessible vehicle, so if there is lots of snow or ice on the ground, her husband Glenn is able to help her get to the store or if she has to go anywhere else. Even with the snow gone, there are still challenges as many parts of the city are still inaccessible to her, including businesses and uneven sidewalks, some of which have a sudden end with a big drop. She feels that all businesses should have accessible entrances, and so all citizens can access them and not feel discriminated against. And while many businesses have accessible entrances, there are still a great deal that do not.
It's not too late to leave town and catch the Lyrid meteor shower. It's happening in night skies across the globe until April 29th. The Lyrid meteor shower graces Earth's skies yearly, with accounts of the Lyrids dating back to 687 BC. The comet responsible for the spectacular is C1861 Thatcher. This comet, compared to others, has a relatively short orbital period around the Sun of 415 years. The shower occurs between the constellations of Hercules and Lyra, close by the bright star Vega.
Now the Lyrid meteor shower, which is actually happening right now, I think it starts around about the 16th of April, before I'm filming this video, and it goes up to about the 25th. But the peak, that's when you can see most of the shooting stars flying across the sky, is on the 22nd and I think the 23rd.
It's time for our final update for the 2025 election. Our Sofia Frolova has her last look at this week's news from the campaign trail.
Hello and welcome to the election countdown for April 25th. I'm Sofia Frolova. In our last edition prior to the 45th federal general election, we'll bring you the latest news and what you need to know before you vote. So let's get into it. A record number of Canadians cast their ballots during advance voting this past weekend. Elections Canada reports that an estimated 7.3 million people voted between April 18th and 21st, surpassing the previous record of 5.8 million set in 2021. Long lines were seen at many polling stations, particularly on Good Friday. Some voters waited up to 2 hours in Ottawa. Elections Canada thanked voters and election workers for their patience and dedication. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has unveiled his party's full election platform. The plan promises $75 billion in tax cuts and $35 billion in new programs over 4 years. It also comes with a projected deficit of $31 billion this year. Poilievre says he'll slash bureaucracy, consultants, and foreign aid and boost home building, defense, and economic growth. The platform includes a cut to lowest income tax rate and new housing plans. Liberal leader Mark Carney called the platform a joke, saying it lacks a serious plan to stand up to Donald Trump. Winnipeg police are investigating after campaign signs for a Jewish conservative candidate were defaced with hateful messages. Several of Marty Moran's signs in the Tuxedo neighborhood were spray-painted with words like traitor and drawings resembling Hitler. His campaign says some of the graffiti was anti-Semitic. Morans is the incumbent MP for Winnipeg West and called the incident, quote, disgusting, and said he won't be intimidated. Police say the Major Crimes Unit is investigating. Moran's Liberal opponent condemned the vandalism, saying, quote, there is no room for hate in politics. A new poll shows Quebecers are now rallying behind national unity. They're reportedly responding to fear stirred up by Trump's tariffs and comments about annexing Canada. Quebecers have historically been divided about Canada. Now, even the founder of the separatist Bloc Québécois has temporarily embraced federalism, saying, quote, we are together in defending Canada. Analysts say the party, which hoped to get up to 50 seats, is now fighting for survival. Prime Minister Mark Carney is seeing surprising support in Quebec. Carney is an Anglophone, but voters seem to be responding to his efforts to speak French and his strong economic credentials. But some worry this patriotic wave could come at a cost, weakening the voices that stand for Quebec's identity and culture in Ottawa. As the cost of living rises, party leaders are making affordability a top issue. The Liberals, Conservatives, and NDP are all promising financial relief, and they all say they'll run deficits to make it happen. The Liberal plan includes a 1% tax cut for low-income earners. They'll also remove the EI wait time for receiving severance packages. And the Liberals say they'll boost support for seniors by increasing the guaranteed income supplement. The Conservatives are offering bigger tax cuts, 2.25% on the lowest bracket. Trade workers could write off travel expenses, and working seniors could earn $10,000 more tax-free. The NDP is focusing on lower-income Canadians. They'd raise the tax-free income threshold up to $19,000. They also want to scrap GST on energy, internet, and prepared foods, and double the Canada Disability Benefit. And just before we go, here's your latest update on where parties stand in the polls. Current national polls indicate the Liberals leading with 42% support, keeping a consistent 4 to 5 point lead over Conservatives, who stand at 38%. The NDP holds 8%, while Bloc and Greens have 6 and 2% respectively. And that's all the time that we have for our last election countdown. Join us for the result coverage on April 28th on WCGTV.
This election has captured the attention of Canadians across the country. One group of voters often overlooked, the youth voters. Many of them might be casting their first ever ballot this year. Ashton Kalita spoke to some young Brandon voters and has more in this report.
With Election Day just around the corner on April 28th, I decided to go around Brandon University and ask students whether they think it's important that young people should vote, what sort of issues they think our next government should focus on, and if they will be voting based on who's running in their riding or who's running for Prime Minister.
I feel like young people really need to vote for the upcoming election because it really concerns our future, while older people might not care as much about climate change or the overall well-being of our Earth, because it's not going to affect them as much because they're older, while it's going to have a really big impact on our life. And also with other policies, it's going to affect us more eventually than it's going to affect the older crowd.
I think that they should really be focusing on making Canada the best country it can be, making it as affordable as it can be, and standing up for what's right.
Mostly care about not getting Pierre Poilievre in office. I don't want him in office. So I think I'm going to vote for the most we can do to not have him in office. I think locally we'll have a guy that comes in that'll fix things up, right? Like, you know, that always works itself out, really. But I think it's important that, especially with Pierre's sort of parroting of Trump's remarks and Trump's policies, it'd be best to focus on the federal, because what happens in the federal will sort of filter down into the local, right? And I don't want to see that kind of rhetoric coming into Brandon.
Election Day is on April 28th, so be sure to get out there and vote. For more information on poll hours or how to register to vote, please visit the Elections Canada website. I'm Ashton Kalita, Westman This Week, Brandon.
For thousands of years, prognosticators have claimed the ability to foresee future events. With so much riding on the federal election, we were immediately thrilled to learn there is a method of predicting the future that is reportedly foolproof. We go now to our correspondent in the field, Matt Schroeder.
Have you, much like everyone else, wanted a reliable source for the upcoming election? Who will win? Today, I have the answer to that question. I'm here with a dog that will be representing the Liberal Party, Daisy. Daisy, how do you feel about this upcoming race? Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing your performance. And I'm here with the dog that will be representing the Conservative Party, Bruno. Bruno, how do you feel about this upcoming race? And do you have any thoughts? And are you excited? Oh, talking to the mic, not me, buddy. Okay, thank you very much, Bruno. We look forward to seeing your performance. Good. And here we have the cat that's going to represent the NDP party, Pepper. Pepper, what are your thoughts on this upcoming race? And are you excited? Thank you very much, Pepper. We look forward to seeing your performance. Mark, get set, go! Go, 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 go! Oh my goodness, NDP is taking the lead. With Conservative very close behind in second, and Mark Carney in the Liberal Party, they're very last. Let's slow that down real quick. Look at how ready he is for this race. He came prepared. Now, for the Conservative and Liberal Party representatives, I can't say the same. They didn't come with the same passion. They didn't come prepared. They weren't ready to run like their lives depended on it. That's where I give Pepper his props. He really went out there and showed that the NDP can upset. Now, for the others, they are very upsetting, but in the wrong way. Okay, it's a blowout, not what we expected. Can't wait to see what happens next. This is your most reliable source for the upcoming election. Thank you very much. I'm Matthew Schroeder, Westman This Week. Brandon.
We won't be able to see if the pet prediction was correct until come election night. That's all the time we have for local news. Coming up next, we've got all the top international news of the week. Stay with us.
On April 28th, we decide who will lead our country through these complicated times. In Brandon Souris, in Portage Lisgar, in Riding Mountain. All through our region and our country, men and women asking you to choose them on election night to protect our interests in Ottawa. 28 million Canadian voters, hundreds of choices, one night, one future. Join us live on election night on WCG TV.
Welcome back. I'm Stu Smoley with a look at some of the headlines from around the world. Mourners are paying respects to Pope Francis at the Vatican Wednesday as his body lies in state in St. Peter's Basilica. It will remain there for 3 days until his funeral Saturday. The Pope's body was transferred to the Basilica during a procession earlier Wednesday, followed by a service. Mourners from around the world will be in Rome to attend Pope Francis's funeral service to pay their final respects. Pope Francis was 88 years old. 9 people have been killed and at least 30 wounded in a Russian drone attack near the Ukrainian city of Marhanets, authorities said on Wednesday. A bus carrying people to work was struck in the attack, as reported by Ukrainian officials in a Telegram post that reported that the number of casualties is constantly growing. Russian attacks also killed 4 people in the eastern Donetsk region and 1 person in the southeastern Zaporizhzhia region, according to Ukrainian authorities. Fighting between Russia and Ukraine resumed with full force this week after a surprise ceasefire over the Easter weekend. Both sides accused each other of breaching the agreement. talks concerning peace initiatives are taking place this week. President Donald Trump is softening two of his most contentious economic positions, but a new report shows it might be too little too late. He says the tariff on many Chinese imports eventually won't be, quote, anywhere near the current level. It's a total of 145% after his repeated hikes. Trump also appears to be walking back his social media post that says the termination of the Federal Reserve chair can't come fast enough. The change of tone follows yesterday's grim report from the International Monetary Fund. It forecasts a global economic slowdown of 0.5% year over year. It predicts an even bigger hit to the U.S. economy given Trump's tariffs. Auto Shanghai, China's largest automobile show, opened this week. The show attracts dozens of domestic and foreign car makers, as well as crowds of journalists, to a sprawling exhibition centered in the country's financial hub. Car makers jockeyed for attention with flashy displays featuring their latest models and dueling press conferences announcing new releases. The 10-day gathering shines a spotlight on the technological prowess of China's booming and cutthroat electric vehicle sector, which has shocked Western rivals with the speed of its innovation and growth and the quality of its value offerings. As the global auto industry is roiled by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on car imports to the United States, China's EV sector has become a hotspot. Global brands use the show to try to gain more market share in one of the world's hottest automobile markets. Officials in parts of New Jersey say people can return to home after a wildfire prompted evacuations Tuesday. As of Tuesday evening, the blaze had scorched at least 8,500 acres and was only 10% contained. Authorities said more than 3,000 people have been evacuated. More than 1,300 structures were threatened. The fire also forced a partial closure of the Garden State Highway in southern New Jersey. More than 25,000 power outages were reported in one county alone. And that is all the time we have for international headlines. Thanks for watching over the course of our season here on Westman This Week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hello, and welcome to the final weekender of our season here at Westman This Week. I'm Kira McKay. Here is a look at what is going on in and around Westman this weekend. At the Keystone Center, be sure to check out all the best deals at Brandon's big indoor garage sale. The United Way hosts this monster sale in the Manitoba Room on Saturday. Admission is free. Also at the Keystone Center is the Kiwanis Club Bike Auction. If you're looking for a new-to-you set of wheels, this might help you find you or your kids a new ride. It's at the Curling Club and it starts at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Are you going to pull the golden ticket? Surrey's School is putting on a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory play. Showtimes are tonight and tomorrow at 7 and Sunday with a 2 p.m. matinee. Tickets can be purchased at the door or at LTS Corner Store. Tickets $10 for 12 and under and $15 for adults. Beware the dinosaurs! Spruce Lakes Recreation presents Dynamite, Adventures at the Hall in Glenboro. April 26th from noon till 4 p.m. Experience walking with the dinosaurs, a magic show, dig for fossils, and much more. Tickets are $10 per person and group rates are available. To order tickets, call Jen at 204-827-2575. If you are looking for some live music, the Clubbing Fraggles is playing at Lady of the Lake Friday night. Catch their fun 80s party vibe from 8 to 10 p.m. with a $10 cover charge at the door. Also on Friday, Winnipeg's Brie Animal takes to the stage at the 40. They deliver hard rocking covers for all to enjoy, and there is a $10 cover charge at the door. Then, Saturday night, Dean James brings his unique brand of music to the 40s as his Burn It Down tour comes to Brandon. There's a $12 cover fee at the door. For lovers of the silver screen, there are new movies debuting this weekend. On Swift Horses is the story of a woman whose life is upended by family turmoil, a torrid love affair as she develops a need for speed at the horse track. The Accountant 2, starring Ben Affleck and John Bernthal, is also new in theaters this weekend. This action flick depicts a pair of brothers who work to solve a high-profile murder. Turning to the weather, it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag over the weekend. On Friday, we should see sunny skies and a high of 16 and a low of 0. For Saturday, it will cloud over and we will see a high of 15 and a low of 3. And on Sunday, cloudy conditions continue, but with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 6. But as we move into next week, we will see a bit cooler temps and some windy conditions on Monday, which of course is Election Day. Please don't forget to get out and vote. Have a great weekend and thanks for watching. We'll be back after this short break.
Welcome back. We've got one more story for you tonight. Popping spray paint cans fuel a massive truck fire on an interstate. And running robots compete in the world's first humanoid half marathon. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
An Indiana interstate had to be shut down temporarily after a semi-truck caught fire, turning into a massive inferno, highlighted by the gunfire-like sounds of its popping payload.
I'll follow her there after this.
According to WLS, that crackling sound you hear was the truck's cargo of aerosol spray paint cans exploding one by one as the raging inferno was literally being fueled by the petroleum-based paint. Fire crews worked to bring the enormous blaze under control, but not before they say the intense heat damaged the roadway. Thankfully, though, the truck's driver was unharmed in the explosive incident. In Colorado, another tense situation unfolded, not involving fire, but still quite dire, as responders worked to rescue a man that became stuck between two walls. Officials say they aren't sure how the man got stuck in the narrow space between a church's wall and a dumpster enclosure, but they say he'd been trapped there for more than 20 hours. Ultimately, they used a combination of a ladder, a rope, and a pole to fish the victim out of this tricky spot. Alrighty, how about we finish on a more mellow note? Take a look at the world's first humanoid half marathon, recently run in China, in part by more than 20 two-legged robots. Teams from several companies and universities took part, showing off toddling high-tech models of all shapes and sizes. I know what you're thinking, great! An apocalypse of android athletic supremacy. But fear not, these trotting bots didn't exactly break out into a T-1000 level sprint, instead finishing firmly behind their human competitors. So don't worry, they'll likely sooner take over your jobs before they overtake you on your jogs. Feel better? For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Next time I'm out for a run, I'll have to make sure there's no robots chasing behind me. Thanks so much for joining us. This is our last show of the season. Over the last few months, all of us here have really enjoyed bringing you the news from our region. From all of us here at Assiniboine College, thanks for watching. A reminder just before we go, we are producing a live election night show following the results as they come down, with commentators and insights as the outcome emerges. That's on WCG-TV beginning at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, April 28th, election night. We can't wait to see you there, and remember to get out and vote. I'm Kira Stevens. Thanks for watching.